how pimples actually form, and why some become giant cysts. Have you ever wondered why one tiny pore on your face suddenly turns into a painful red pimple? Or why sometimes you get a harmless little whitehead while other times you wake up with a huge bump that seems to appear overnight? It turns out every pimple starts exactly the same way. But what happens next determines whether it stays invisible or becomes one of the painful cysts people remember for weeks. Today, we're following the life of a pimple from the very beginning. You'll see what actually happens underneath your skin, why different types of acne look so different, and what causes some pimples to become monsters while others disappear before you even notice them. Because once you understand how acne really forms, your skin suddenly makes a lot more sense. Your skin might look smooth on the outside, but underneath it's packed with millions of tiny structures working around the clock. Each hair on your body grows from a tiny tunnel called a hair follicle. Connected to almost every follicle is something called a sebaceous gland. Its job is to produce an oily substance called sebum. Sebum often gets a bad reputation, but without it, your skin would dry out, crack, and become much more vulnerable to bacteria. Think of sebum as your skin's natural moisturizer. Normally, everything works perfectly. Dead skin cells slowly rise to the surface. Sebum travels up the follicle. Everything exits through the pore, and your skin stays healthy. But then the traffic jam begins. Throughout the day, your skin is constantly shedding dead skin cells. Normally, those cells fall away naturally, but sometimes they become sticky. Instead of leaving the pore, they start collecting inside it. At the exact same time, your sebaceous gland continues pumping out fresh oil. Now imagine trying to pour more water into a drain that's already partially clogged. Eventually the oil has nowhere to go. The pore slowly stretches. Pressure begins to build, and the first stage of acne has officially started. This tiny blockage is called a comedone. Almost every pimple you'll ever get begins as one. Now the story splits into two completely different paths. The first possibility is that the blockage stays mostly closed. Oil and dead skin remain trapped beneath a thin layer of skin. From the outside, it looks like a tiny white bump. This is called a whitehead. Whiteheads usually don't hurt much because the blockage remains sealed. The trapped material isn't exposed to air, so it keeps its pale color. They can stay like this for days or even weeks. Sometimes they disappear on their own. Other times, they evolve into something much worse. The second path creates one of the most misunderstood skin problems in the world. The top of the clogged pore opens slightly. Not enough for everything to escape, just enough for air to get inside. The trapped oil reacts with oxygen. A chemical process called oxidation darkens the material near the surface. Suddenly, the tip turns black. This is a blackhead. Contrary to what many people think, that black color isn't dirt. You could wash your face 10 times a day and it would still be black. It's simply oil and skin cells changing color after exposure to oxygen. Just like a sliced apple slowly turns brown after sitting out. But clogged pores are only part of the story. The real trouble begins when bacteria arrive. Hidden deep inside nearly everyone's skin lives a species of bacteria called Cutibacterium acnes. For most of your life, it quietly lives there without causing problems. In fact, it's completely normal. But inside a clogged pore, conditions become perfect. There's plenty of trapped oil, very little oxygen, and almost no way out. The bacteria begin multiplying rapidly. Your immune system notices, and suddenly it declares war. White blood cells rush toward the follicle. Inflammatory chemicals flood the area. Blood vessels expand. More immune cells arrive, and that's why pimples become red. That's why they swell, and that's why they hurt. Most of the pain isn't caused by the bacteria themselves, it's caused by your own immune system fighting them. Your body is essentially creating a tiny battlefield underneath your skin. As the battle continues, dead bacteria, dead skin cells, white blood cells, and fluid all begin collecting together. That thick yellow-white material has a name: pus. Pus might look disgusting, but it's actually evidence that your immune system is doing its job. Eventually, pressure builds high enough that the pus reaches the surface. Now you have what's called a pustule. This is the classic pimple everyone recognizes. Red around the edges, white in the center, tempting to squeeze. Even though that's usually the last thing dermatologists recommend. Why? Because squeezing a pimple doesn't always push everything out. Sometimes it forces infected material even deeper into your skin. Instead of emptying the blockage, you're actually rupturing the follicle wall. Everything spills into surrounding tissue. Now your immune system launches an even bigger attack. The result? More swelling, more pain, a larger pimple, and a much higher chance of permanent scarring. Sometimes leaving it alone really is the fastest path to healing. Not every inflamed pimple develops a white center. Sometimes the inflammation stays deeper beneath the surface. Instead of a white tip, you feel a firm, red, painful bump. This is called a papule. Papules can be surprisingly sore because they're deeper inside the skin. You often notice them before you even see them. Touch your face and suddenly there's a tender spot that wasn't there yesterday. Then there are the giants, nodules, and cysts. These are the pimples almost everyone fears. A nodule forms when inflammation spreads much deeper into the skin. Instead of staying near the surface, the entire follicle becomes severely inflamed. The bump becomes hard, large, painful, and can last for weeks. Cysts are even more dramatic. The follicle ruptures deep beneath the skin. Oil, bacteria, dead cells, and inflammatory fluids spill into surrounding tissue. Your body walls off the area like it's containing a dangerous leak. The result is a large, soft, painful lump. Because the damage extends so deeply, cysts are much more likely to leave permanent scars after they heal. So why do some people barely get acne while others constantly battle breakouts? There isn't just one answer. Hormones play a huge role. During puberty and sometimes adulthood, certain hormones increase oil production dramatically. More oil means more opportunities for clogged pores. Genetics matter too, like if your parents struggled with severe acne, there's a greater chance you will as well. Some people naturally produce more oil. Others shed skin cells differently. Stress can also make acne worse in many people. While stress doesn't directly create pimples, it can increase hormone levels that stimulate oil production and inflammation. Even certain medications, cosmetics, or friction from helmets, hats, and tight clothing can contribute to breakouts. Many people also wonder whether chocolate, greasy food, or poor hygiene cause acne. The truth is more complicated. Acne isn't caused by having dirty skin, and scrubbing your face aggressively can actually make inflammation worse. Diet may play a role for some people, particularly foods with a high glycemic index or, in some cases, dairy. But researchers are still studying exactly how much of an effect diet has. Here's something many people don't realize. A pimple usually starts forming long before you ever see it. By the time that red bump appears in the mirror, the clogged pore has often been developing for days or even weeks. That's why acne treatments usually don't work overnight. They're trying to stop new pimples before they ever become visible. They're working beneath the surface long before your eyes can see the results. Patience is one of the hardest but most important parts of treating acne. Fortunately, modern treatments target different parts of the acne process. Salicylic acid helps clear out clogged pores by dissolving the buildup of dead skin cells. Benzoyl peroxide kills acne-causing bacteria and reduces inflammation. Retinoids help prevent pores from clogging in the first place by speeding up normal skin cell turnover. For severe acne, dermatologists may prescribe oral medications that reduce inflammation, hormones, or even dramatically shrink the oil glands themselves. The earlier acne is treated, the lower the chance of permanent scarring. The good news is that your skin is constantly repairing itself. As inflammation settles down, your immune system clears away bacteria. The trapped material slowly disappears. New skin cells replace damaged tissue. Eventually, the pore returns to normal. Most pimples heal completely. But deeper inflammation can sometimes leave scars or dark marks that fade much more slowly. Every pimple tells the story of your body's attempt to protect itself. It may be frustrating, sometimes painful, and occasionally embarrassing. But underneath it all, your immune system is working exactly as it was designed to. The next time you notice a tiny bump forming, remember you're not just looking at a pimple. You're watching an entire microscopic chain reaction unfold, from a single clogged pore to bacteria multiplying to an all-out battle between your immune system and invaders, all taking place beneath the surface of your skin. And understanding that process is the first step toward understanding how to prevent it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into how the human body works, consider subscribing for more science explainers that uncover the fascinating stories happening inside you every single day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.